Hello and welcome to An Academy. You're listening to the course Daily Analysis and Summary of Hindu in less than 10 minutes. And today is 23rd of December 2016 and today is a Friday. And the course is presented to you by Nitin Kunneparambil. You can read about me here in the slide. And if you want to know more happenings from my end in An Academy, please do hit the this link and you can follow me by hitting this link. Now let's talk about the front page of today's newspaper. It speaks about Mr. Najib Jung's resignation as the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. Now, let's understand Mr. Jung and Mr. Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, has been fighting it out for a very long time. See, that was a very big constitutional interpretation problem there, right? We saw how Mr. Kejriwal was trying to introduce new people, and that was stayed back by Mr. Jung, and the case was fought in Allahabad High, the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court ruling was in favor of governor. All this issue was happening, and now Mr. Najib Jung has resigned. So now there is a new window of opportunity. So this has been viewed by different people in different forms. Like Congress is saying, Aam Aadmi Party has struck some kind of a deal with BJP, and there's a big political action which is happening. But what should be interesting for us is that to see how the politics of this thing is unfolding. And in fact, we had a question regarding this particular case of status of Delhi and the High Court reading regarding that, and it was happening. It came for Main's 2016, right? So maybe you can think about it and you can see what is happening. Also, the sorry, it's not center taps, it is center raps. Manipur, for not ending the blockade. So if you see, the blockade in Manipur has been happening for a very long time, right? Because the bifurcation of states, and how one majority state of Kuki tribes have come, and how the Naga Council has protested against it. So the issue of law and order in any state is with respect to the state, because it's in the state list. Now, obviously center has this right to question Manipur regarding rape. That's what is happening. Now there's a very interesting piece of news. I mean, if it's a feel good news, because you see that Prakasham district in Andhra Pradesh, and they've got like 2,000 or so self-help members in a self-help group, and these people have all gone cashless with respect to this Gramina Bank. So that's working out well. These are the success examples that we need to emulate elsewhere in our country, right? And if you see in Tamil Nadu, there's a lot of the turmoil which is happening in Tamil Nadu, right? Now we saw how the chief secretary, the ex-chief secretary, how he was arrested, and we are also seeing that there is a sand mafia. His associate has been arrested, so that means there are a lot of things which are happening there. Now let's speak about one interesting case. This is with respect to the NGT, that is the National Green Tribunal. They have slapped a fine of 50,000 rupees to Air Asia, and stating that these people have emptied their toilet tanks mid-air. Now, what the airlines is saying, that we don't have that amount of facility to even dump this kind of thing open air. So in that context, can you please tell me what is blue ice? Please research and let me know in the comment section below. One important question which I want to ask you is that, is Article 356 against the spirit of federalism in India? How do you see the compliance with respect to the Bombay case? Now, this is because we saw what is happening in Uttarakhand, we saw what is happening in Arunachal. All of this is there, right? Maybe in that respect you can speak about it. Now, interesting question from interesting news from the south and the nation. If you can see, NRAs offered to build green airport in Kerala. Now, if you see that Kerala already have 3 airports, can you tell me which are the 3 green airports there? Okay. And now they're planning for a new one, and the funding issues there. So, but then NRS have offered it, so that is one thing. And the wrong direction confuses pilot of Naveen's chopper. Now, if you see Naveen Patnaik, whatever is happening is that he got lost from Corput or some other place he had to land. But last time we had something like this when Mr. Rajshekar Reddy, the ex-chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, how he died in a crash like this, right? So you have to be very careful with respect to that. And also Mr. Badal, who is the chief minister of Punjab, he wants tougher laws against the tougher anti-defection laws, right? That's a very interesting question. And then also the moon race, which is happening. That is like the Indian company based out of Bangalore, I guess. They call us Team Indus. They're teaming with this another private company called as Hakuto for a launch together in the PSLV satellite, which is going to be launched by ISRO. Now the questions which I want to ask you is that, do you think there is a parliamentary decay which is happening in India? If so, how much of it can be attributed to this anti-defection law? Maybe you can discuss about it. Also, please answer this question: what are greenfield projects? The third question which I want to ask you is that what is the regional navigation in Indian context? So I'm basically referring to Navig, right? IRNSS and stuff like that. Now let's move on to the editorial section. The first issue is with respect to little gain and more pain. So if you see the black money issue, a lot of people have been evading black money and tax officials have been running behind them. But then right now what we see is that a lot of tax officials have been catching a lot of big fishes. Right now, how many? So many people have been using this situation to their advantage. If you see the blank officials and this black marketeers, so these people together, what they're trying to do is that they're using all this black demonetized note and trying to make it white. Now we know that a lot of people have been caught, that is true, but then these are like peanuts. There's nothing when compared to the whole black money industry. Now if you see the amount of money which comes back to the bank just after the demonetization is 15.4 lakh crores. That means these are the people, the black marketers are somehow able to get this amount of money into the back to the bank. So there's something rotten here, right? Now also let's talk about the two important states, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, who are able to implement it super in a very nice fashion. So if the other states are not able to bring this kind of a result, that means they are not able to do it properly. So there's more and more of corruption there. The question which I want to ask you is that examine the role of financial action task force in fighting the black money menace, and also explain the following terms with respect to black money, that is placement, layering, and integration. So these are very, very important questions. Like, this is how a black money is integrated, how the black money market functions. So please do research and let me know in the comment section below. And now another issue is with respect to what is happening in Poland. Now in Poland, you have a government which is headed by this person, Jarosław, Kaczynski. So now he has his party of conservative law and justice party. Now this person has been tightening his grip on Poland, and thereby undermining many institutions of democracy like the Supreme Court, and so as I said, judicial independence is not present in Poland, and also he's trying to replace a lot of heads of public bodies by his own people. So, and in fact, this has become so much of a protest that a lot of people are protesting outside the parliament. In fact, the opposition is sitting inside the parliament, and now if you see, they're not able to pass the budget. So the budget has been passed without the approval of parliament. That's very strange in India. Probably you can't think about it. And EU, who have been very concerned about the situation which is developing in Poland, what they have tried to do is that they have given 2 months time for the course correction. Now, in this context, what I would like to ask you is a totally different question. That's with respect to gender budgeting. What is meant by gender budgeting? What are difficulties in the same? So this is a question from Mains 2016. You might as well have a closer look at it. Now, doing the right thing. So there's this author, his name is Mr. Chinmay. He was a diplomat, and he's commenting upon this article which Shiv Vishwanathan has written with respect to Aleppo and Syria. Now, he says in a very typical sense that all of this needn't be what of our concern, because see, we really don't know what is the situation in Syria. Syrian situation is very complex. There are more rebels, there are Kurdish people, there are rebels, there are Assad army, and there are Turkish, there are Russian. So who's fighting whom, we really don't know. A very complex situation. And there are two. If probably even if we get our boots involved in their ground, probably we won't be able to make us a proper a desirable outcome to come out of it. Ideally, what we would want should have been UN Security Council doing a unanimous, decision. But then what happens is that, India is not a part of UN Security Council. So how can we be involved in all of this? So what we should be doing is that, creating our own self-interest and protecting them. But nothing is stopping us from condemning it. But then if there is some solution which is coming out of it, let's be pragmatic enough and support that. So question which I want to ask you is with respect to Indian interest in West Asia. How is the Syrian problem pose a threat to Indian interest? Now another question, issues with respect to the business development. Now you can see the Ford India debate. That said, they said that India has overtaken UK. Yeah, in some weird sense, yes, but in the RBI officials themselves say no, it is not. But then if you consider the purchasing parity, India is just after US and China, so that's a good news. And now with respect to Sun Pharma, they have acquired this cancer drug from Novartis. If you've seen the intellectual property laws and the issues, it was very interesting case about Novartis. Can you tell me what it is? So now this drug, Odomzo, so this has been taken care by Sun Pharma now onwards. That's in news today. Have a nice day. Good night.